Hi there, it's Donovan, and welcome back to episode 20 of the special hour. We have made it to 20 episodes. Mr. Dean, my co-host, told me earlier this morning that most podcasts die less than 7 episodes in, so
supposedly this is
pretty big achievement.
I saw this on Reddit, so I don't know how factual that is, but
we can always trust Reddit. We always can trust Reddit, obviously.
We can, yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. We can't wait for episode 21, where we will get a bunch of alcohol and we will drink it live. Obviously.
Oh my god! Got to celebrate the occasion. Well. Obviously, yes. Have to celebrate the occasion, eh?
But anyways, who is this mysterious who is this British voice that you're hearing? I forgot to introduce our special guest today, Sir Musty.
Yes, hello. It wasn't just DonovanDud doing a very good impression of me. He was practicing earlier, but couldn't quite get it. But
dude, I literally that whole time I thought that was Donovan. Wait, Musty's in the call?
I am here. Yes.
I was practicing my split personality disorder.
You should have heard it earlier. He was doing a spot on impression. Honestly, wow. Better than yours, Mr. D. Can we hear yours again from last time we had a chat?
Oh, no, okay. This is where I get canceled.
No, I'm never kidding. He literally just said, "Oh, fish and chips, mate. Fish and chips, mate." That's literally what he was doing. I'm not even joking. Are you going to deny this, Mr. Dean? You're not going to deny this, are you?
So today is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, innit?
I'm not gonna lie.
I got me crumpets and tea at the side.
Better than the one you did last time, Mr. Dean. I'll give you
okay, that's good. I've been working on it. I've been practicing.
Way better.
Also, just for the record, Donovan, you never introduced me.
Oh well, I'm sorry. I partially introduced my co-host.
It's like the second we have Sir Musty on the show, you just don't give a fuck about me anymore. And
oh man!
All right, here to make it up. We shall do the pleasantries. How is your day, Mr. Dean, or week?
Well, it was better before you forgot about me, but
sorry.
But I'm doing good though. I've had a very busy week, to be honest. A lot of school stuff. Something that's been different this week is that every day I've watched a movie over the past.
Oh
week.
my god, fancy!
Yes, because at first I was like, it's been a long time since I've watched movies and I just don't have the time. And then I realized if I just devote time I previously was doom scrolling Twitter or Instagram, I could just watch a movie with that time. And I realized,
my god, that's perfect.
What? I was like, you know what? I do have time. I was just using it wrong. So a lot of the ones I've been watching are just like classics that some of them I've never seen before. Some of them I was rewatching. So like I watched Jaws, Groundhog Day, Back to the Future, Baby Driver, Maze Runner.
Awesome.
It was a really fun week.
Oh, you've seen the Maze Runners now. So now you've seen I guess parts of the movies that the Legend of Zelda director has made, which we did talk about a few episodes ago.
Oh, okay.
My god,
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
What was the best movie you watched this week, Mr. Dean? Would you say of all of them?
The best.
If you had to guess one, yeah.
So the best movie that I've never seen before, out of the ones I saw, was Groundhog Day. I think it would be really fun to have a whole segment just diving into the philosophy of that movie, but I want to hear more about your story on the so maybe we can do that next week.
I wish you would have told me. I would have watched this as well. We could have gone on a deep dive. I could have started my movie career,
Yeah, shout out Bill Murray. I don't think that he needs a shout out from us, but just in case if Bill Murray's watching,
indie actor Bill Murray, obviously.
Yeah, right. We're promoting small indie actors.
Right.
Pleasure.
Right. But yeah, I really enjoyed Groundhog Day because it was kind of like a tale of. There's many different interpretations of the movie. Some people see it as like a commentary on work-life balance and but the monotony of just constantly working and having an egotistical mindset. Some people see it more.
When was this movie made?
This was 1992.
Oh my god, it's so relatable to this day. Oh my god,
it is. But yeah, it is a really good movie. But before I start yapping about that, Musty, what have you been up to this past week?
Oh my god, I thought you'd never ask, Mr. Groundhog Day. I've been having a lot of fun this week. I don't know if you guys have tried this little thing called the Kirby Air Riders demo.
We did.
Oh yeah,
we definitely did. We were playing it together.
I didn't get a chance to play.
We'll get on that a little bit more later.
I didn't get a chance to play too much of that, but that was decently fun. Other than that, I'm still kind of addicted to Sonic Racing Crosswords, the Mario Kart killer, as we all know, right?
Oh,
the Mario Kart killer. Mario Kart's never been the same, Sega really does what Nintendo, but it's a genuinely really fun game, and I've been shilling it constantly. As soon as it goes on sale, I'm going to find the biggest Sonic shill on planet Earth. I certainly am. Other than that, really, I'm still trying to whittle away at Persona 3. I don't know if you guys play Persona 3 Reload at all.
I know of it. I have some friends that are really, really obsessed with it.
I was gonna say
shut up about it.
Donovan is our JRPG host on the show. So
Oh hell yeah! So there's like two types of Persona fans. You're either not one yet or you're obsessed. And I'm currently in my
Most
obsession
Persona
phase.
fans have not played a Persona game.
Literally, that's how it goes. Just listen to the soundtrack. So yeah, that's basically been the gist of my week, to be honest. What about you, Donovan? What's been your week all about?
Yes, pretty much gaming. Definitely a lot of architecture work, but this has been a little bit of a ways away. But I have reached 1,000 subscribers, so I'm
let's go.
very happy about that.
Oh my god, he's a big YouTuber now. Oh my god,
I'm a huge YouTuber.
he's huge.
Mr. Beast, watch out.
Donovan, have you been contacted by the Illuminati and sold your soul yet?
I've been contacted by YouTube themselves, and they're saying, because you reach 1,000 subscribers, we're just gonna constantly promote your videos. We're gonna give you some money.
It's gonna be perfect.
Behind the scenes.
Money maxing, sacks of cash at the desk. Mr. Dean, what do you think its controversy is going to be? Is it going to be tax evasion, or is it going to be getting cancelled on Twitter? Where are we going with DonovanDud's career? What are you thinking?
I was thinking embezzlement because I think that whenever
that's a good one. Because I think you're like an embezzlement kind of guy, Donovan. I'm not gonna lie. You give me embezzlement vibes.
I'm flattered.
Because what I was thinking is whenever we get monetized on the special hour, he's gonna hijack the bank account for the special hour and pull the funds.
He's gonna be like, it's 50-50. I swear it was 50-50. And it's like, you forgot to count a couple of ones there,
I'm not
mate.
I'm not gonna pull a completionist. I'm not that bad.
Oh, damn.
Throwing some shade. Yeah. Now let's move on to what we talked about a little bit earlier, but we have a section called the Special Selects, games that we've been playing for the past week, or games that we just want to talk about right now. So let's start with Sir Musty. You've already talked about a couple of games that you've been playing, Kirby Air Riders demo more specifically. Could you tell us about some of the games that you've been playing?
Oh my gosh. Well, definitely want to have a bit of a conversation about that. So Kirby Air Riders is one that I was a bit interested in, but of course I wasn't particularly sold on, if I'm going to be honest. I'm like, 2 kart races already. Do I really need 3 cakes? But of course, you know how it is, right, guys? Mr. Sakurai gets up on that stage, as quirked up as he always is, and good lord, he just sells me, doesn't he? Doesn't he just sell everyone on a video game? He's so good at that.
Very passionate.
I don't know how he does that. I'm just like, it's infectious. It really is. So after seeing that trailer, I was definitely interested. And having played admittedly only a tiny bit of the weekend, because it was like, either 8 in the morning or like midnight in the UK time. Was it nightmarish? So I got to play a little bit around midnight before I had to go to bed. And it was actually so chaotic and tons of fun. The city trial mode. I don't know what I was doing for half of it, but I was having fun. That's how I know about Kirby Air Riders. What about you, gentlemen? What do you think of that?
Well, literally my thoughts whenever me and Donovan were playing City Trial is that I was overstimulated.
Yes. That's the best way to use.
It's like ADHD incarnate.
Yeah, you're literally just constantly getting power-ups and stuff, and half the time you don't even know what's happening. Like, I would get, all the different icons and stuff, and it would say on screen like, oh, attack up, defense up, but like my brain didn't have time to register it, but I was still having fun because of how satisfying driving around is. There's times where you're going like 5,000 miles an hour and you can't even control where you're going in City Trial, but it's still fun.
It's not even a joke.
There's some points where it's completely uncontrollable, but I find, like, most games, if I can't control a character, I like turn it off. But for this game, I feel there's something.
There's a strange exception to the rule, isn't it? It really is.
Something about this game just feels so good, even when you're not in control for some reason. It's like Rick goes faster than Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh,
Rail grinding feels better than any Sonic game.
Honestly.
I don't know what's up with it. Maybe the animations killing people. Vehicular manslaughter has never felt better in any other game.
It really has. I don't even need to be drunk to do it either. It's perfect. I don't know how they've done it in this game.
This is, I don't know. It just felt very, very chaotic but fun. It's the same kind of chaos that you get maybe from Smash Ultimate Items.
Yes.
But in like a 3D racer with Kirby.
Definitely hearkening to the same energy, I would say so. Really good in that regard.
That's most of what I played. But I also have been playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment.
Ooh, that came out relatively recently, right? What did you make of that?
So I'm a really big fan of Tears of the Kingdom. The only problem that I have, or some issue that I have with Tears of the Kingdom, is the story. I do think it's a little bit weaker than just Breath of the Wild. So I'm hoping Age of Imprisonment can pick up the slack where Tears of the Kingdom kind of lacked in.
Would you say, just to quickly ask you a question, from what I've known, I've not played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I did play Breath of the Wild, love it. From what I've heard,
Are you asking, should you play?
No. What I was going to ask is, the memes I've seen is Tears of the Kingdom story was weak, and Age of Imprisonment feels like a bit of a patch for that, if that makes sense. Like the story was weak, and like that's the
sometimes
feeling.
what I feel.
Would you say that that's a true, not true? Is that exaggerated, or like is that actually how you feel? Yeah.
I feel like Age of Imprisonment, it kind of justifies its existence by expanding on what happens in the past of Tears of the Kingdom. But at the same time, I feel like, it would have been nice to know more of these characters in the actual game rather than the separate prequel. Because in Tears of the Kingdom, there's the four sages. We didn't even know their names. We didn't even see their face. Now we get to know who they actually are in Age of Imprisonment, which is nice. It's great that you expand upon this world in its own separate game, but also it's like, well, why didn't
it leaves a sour taste, doesn't it? Like that's what I've heard. I've just heard it leaves people feeling a bit bitter.
But if you really hate like Warriors games, I'm sorry, this is not going to change your mind. It's definitely a Warriors game, but this is the best Warriors game that I've played. It's basically the Warriors format through and through, but the combat and the combos and the characters, they all feel really great, and the whole system, like the whole war angle, the imprisoning war that this game has, I don't know, it just feels really solid. This feels like the most refined Warriors game.
Would you recommend it to someone who's played Breath of the Wild but not Tears of the Kingdom yet?
So Mr. Dean asked this question. I believe so. Mr. Dean, you also haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, and you're asking, if you should dip into this world of Tears of the Kingdom.
the warrior space.
The thing is, though, there's some things in Tears of the Kingdom that involves the story that are pretty big, and I do think if you experience it in Tears of the Kingdom, your enjoyment will be great in.
Got it.
Or if that's even English. But in Age of Imprisonment, it is a canon story, unlike Age of Calamity. So these story threads do matter. They will continue on into Tears of the Kingdom. It's just that there's some cutscenes that will repeat in Tears of the Kingdom, so it might feel a little bit redundant. It's like saying, should I watch the Star Wars prequels before the originals? It's kind of like that.
It was one of those things where, like, I've always wanted to try a Warriors game, but, like, is it one of those, like, you can just, like, pick up and put down, or is it, like, do I have to, like, go in order in a sense? So it seems like I have to play Tears of the Kingdom first, right?
I feel like for Age of Imprisonment, you can enjoy the story without knowing what happens in Tears of the Kingdom, because it is chronological. And unlike Tears of the Kingdom, where all the memories are out of order again, but I think you could probably get by playing this in order, like the prequel first and then the main story.
Well, Ed, I feel like if you are really concerned about the cadence at which you play the games in order to get the best interpretation of the story, and you haven't played a Hyrule Warriors yet, maybe you just start with Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, so that way it's detached from like the Wild Era games. Play Tears of the Kingdom and then play Age of Imprisonment, maybe.
It seems like the kind of game I'd like, just like, mowing down mobs of like enemies. It just seems like my kind of jam, So I'd love to give it a try.
Oh yeah, it's a it's low key, a little brainless, but it's kind of fun.
Well, that's kind of the charm of it.
Yeah, that's kind of the charm. Like, I feel like that's the kind of thing I'm in the mood for, because I've been playing a bit of Doom Eternal, and I think with Doom Eternal, it's so intense. Even on the medium difficulty I'm playing on, it's so intense. Lord knows, after a long shift, I'm not like clocking in for another shift in hell, So it's something a bit brainless, kind of like it's kind of whetting my appetite right now, if you ask me.
Speaking of Doom Eternal, that soundtrack.
Yeah, guys. I mean, the less said, the better. Just go here. Honestly, it's phenomenal.
Because actually, I just realized we've never talked about Doom on the podcast, but every time I think of Doom, I just think of like the metal soundtrack, and I'm just like,
it's
very,
amazing.
very quick question before we move on to the next topic. Have any of you played Doom: The Dark Ages?
I've not. I have heard that people didn't like it as much as Eternal.
I have not either, because I've heard mixed
Yeah,
Mixed
that's what I heard. Yeah, bit of a shame.
Well, anyways, let's seamlessly transition into the next topic. Let's put Sir Musty into the spotlight. Sir Musty,
oh god, I hate
we want
this
to
bit.
know your story on YouTube. How did you?
Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
How did you become?
I hate talking about myself, man. Don't let me do it. Don't
Get in a circle. We're doing our icebreakers now.
Oh my god! Here we go. Go on, lay it on me.
So how did you begin? Where did this all begin?
Way back when, we're going back to the distant past of. I was joking when I said distant past, but 2016 almost feels like an eternity ago, you know, at least in the online landscape. But we have to go as far back as 2016, really, where I decided, hey, me and my friends are pretty funny when we play Call of Duty. Let's become our own little bootleg Vanos Gaming. Wouldn't that be cool, boys? Mm-hmm. So I decided to just upload my funny haha Call of Duty funny moments, and it ended up netting me like a couple hundred subscribers. It was just decently fun. I had a couple of regular commenters. It was nothing too crazy, but I still had a lot of fun doing it. And then Overwatch came along and ruined my fucking life. And I say that like both in jest and seriously, because like in 2016, Overwatch fever was eternal. It really.
I love how every single person that mentions Overwatch, they describe it as like ruining their life every single time.
That and Destiny 2.
It's like League of Legends, but not nearly as horrible. That's the best way. It's on like the same line, but it's not like that's like Overwatch is like the gateway drug. It's like marijuana. And like League of Legends is like crystal meth. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's not good for you, but good Lord knows it's not League of Legends like crystal methylene. You know what I mean? You can't be dealing with that.
Okay, I understand.
That's kind of how it works. Because Overwatch fever was eternal in 2016. That game was everywhere. All my that hit me like crack. It really did, honestly.
Did you know it? I always forget. It won Game of the Year.
Yes, it's the only multiplayer game ever to win Game of the Year. That's just to give you the context of how big this game was, man. Everyone was playing it, and so did I. And I had a lot of fun, like meeting people, doing voice chatting, all that stuff, and also made videos on that. Had a lot of fun doing that. Also met my now wife on that game. Strangely enough,
so you're eternally locked to
basically
Overwatch.
like I cannot talk about my life without talking about Overwatch. Mm-hmm. So it is like a canon part of the Sir Musty lore.
So did you meet her like in an online match, or like
we met each other in Overwatch? I think a couple of years after release, opened a server browser so you could just make your own custom games, and we were both ironically enough doing the same thing. We were going to various servers for Valentine's Day that were just titled Valentine's Day servers. Come meet and date. And
what?
No, but here's the thing. I was just going in trolling because this is my epic troll phase. So I was just going in like epic trolling and pretending I was the Rizzler and all that jazz, right? Here's the thing. She was doing the exact same thing.
Oh,
so we met, and then we bumped into each other 3 different times in 3 different lobbies, and we're just like, I was like, you're kind of funny. Let me add you. And then all the rest, as they say, is history. 7.5 years later, she's got a ring on her finger. Right?
Wait, it's actually such a beautiful origin.
I still have. I think we both still have our videos, like our respective Valentine's Day trolling videos somewhere, which is never going to get out of the archive. Don't ever ask. Okay,
I was gonna ask, but okay, maybe off the air.
No, it's never happening, okay? That's staying in the vault. It's lock and key. I'm taking it with me to my grave. But yeah, Overwatch is kind of like where I got I'd say my extended start, so to speak. I ended up building up a couple thousand subscribers on a now defunct channel of Overwatch where I had a lot of fun, but ultimately I kind of just stopped having fun playing the game. So I moved on to greener pastures, made a whole new channel to start fresh, and of course that's when I made the horrendous mistake, Mr. Dean and Donovan, of uploading a Mario Kart Wii ranking. And ended up blowing up to about like 80,000 views.
He sold his soul to the Mario Kart Wii community.
I literally did.
He's grifting.
I'm grifting so hard. Funky Kong Mark bike, guys. Funky Kong Bowser bike. It was so good, isn't it? So I think that was kind of the video that kickstarted everything, and the rest, as they say, is history. I ended up building a bit of momentum from there, done some Mario Kart stuff, Nintendo stuff, and here I am, really. I'm on a podcast. I've made it, Mum. I've made it.
So how do you go from that to reacting?
Reaction stuff is always I've been doing that for years, like since on Twitch, because like for the longest time I separated my YouTube stuff and Twitch stuff. So on Twitch, playing varieties of games and like reacting to videos was a bit of a norm. I just didn't start doing on YouTube until like years later, until I felt a bit more confident in my reaction chops, should I say. So then I just started doing on YouTube, and everyone kind of took to it. And again, the rest is history, really. I made a second channel to put all my other stuff, reaction stuff, and that's approaching 10K now, Mr. Dean. Can you believe this? Everyone likes a bit. See, that's the thing, right? Everyone calls it reaction slop. And yeah, I managed to get 10K on that channel in a year. Well, how do you make sense of that, Donovan, huh? It doesn't make sense.
Have you seen Pyro live?
It doesn't make sense.
Well, Musty, it is slop because all you do is react to other people's hard work and add nothing of value.
Here it comes, Mr. Dean Star here to start some drama.
And I was a victim. He took my hard work and profited off of it. No,
I can't believe this.
How dare he?
How would the world survive if I didn't react to Mr. Dean's top 10 most underrated Mario Kart tracks? The world would never have been the same. Oh man. But yeah, so that's kind of like the long and short of my YouTube story, really.
Wow, that's just such such an interesting arc also because like whenever it comes to Overwatch, is that a game that you still play off the air like on and off to this day? Because obviously I was gonna say you're tethered to it, both emotionally and just with all the time that you spend on it. So even if that's not your main content.
Yeah, I still really love Overwatch. I still play on occasion. Even though Overwatch 2 since replaced Overwatch 1 and it's very controversial in that regard. There's a whole other can of worms. I still somewhat like Overwatch 2. Not nearly as much as I like Prime Overwatch 1, of course. But I still play on occasion. And me and my fiance still play it. So it's pretty solid. But yeah, I don't like it nearly as much as I used to. That's for damn sure.
How do you have so much time to stream? Because I remember I, at one point in my life, did some streaming. And that always took up a big chunk of my time. How do you balance work-life balance? We always ask everyone, all these guests, all these work-life balance questions. So how do you do it?
I think, well, now I'm quite lucky and fortunate in the fact that I'm, content creating part-time. So I have to I was able to reduce my hours at work. So I'm able to balance it a lot better. But if you want to know the secret behind how I was doing it before, I kind of wasn't. That's
the secret sauce.
The secret sauce is something's got to give because there's only so much hours you have in the day of social life, your relationships, family and work, right? So one of them kind of has to take a backseat to make room for live streaming. But I think it also helped that I just love this with all my heart. The thing is, right, for the longest time I used to just tell people, oh, just live stream, it's so much fun. But then like having seen other people just live stream off of my advice, some people like do take to it and have a lot of fun. But then I realized that it's just, there must be something that makes it uniquely appealing to me more so than others because I just love this shit with all my heart, man. This time consuming is all it is. I'll stream for what I feel like is 1 hour and 7 have gone by and I've just had a blast, And that has been happening for years.
If you were to do this full time, I'm thinking you would do this without any doubt in your heart.
Oh, absolutely not, no. Because I love it with all my heart. I love live streaming, so it's so much fun. Being able to like bounce off chat, just like making up random stuff, fun event. I think the other day, we literally, I was watching a Mario Kart video on someone's like, I'm going to name drop him, Benjamage's top 3 favorite Mario Kart tracks in every game. And I just turned that into a bit of like a game between me and chat. Like I'd pick someone from the chat, they'd be the representative. And everyone would have to funnel answers through them. And we come up with what we think are, what they think Benjamage is going to pick, or what I think Benjamage is going to pick. And we'll see who got it more correct. And don't ask me what the results were. I got destroyed embarrassingly. And I'm still upset about that to this day. But yeah, just like doing stuff like that is just like kind of what makes it really, really fun. Like on the fly moments and coming up with fun things to do is just what makes live streaming so appealing to me.
And so you mentioned how part of the thing that makes live streaming special is how you can bounce off of chat. That's something that I always find interesting because I've also done a little bit of live streaming before, not a ton, but because I'm a smaller channel, usually chat isn't that active. There's pockets of time where I'm basically just talking to a wall, and that's something that as a small streamer you have to get used to. So what was that chat interaction like whenever you first started out? Did you always kind of have a chat, or did you go through that period where you had to kind of... No, go ahead.
No, go. I'm so rude with kind people. I'm so sorry, Mr. Dean.
No, please be rude. Please be rude.
It's going to be a nightmare to edit this. I'm sorry, gentlemen. When it came to that initial, but I think what kind of helped me initially is when I started streaming is when like I had one Overwatch video kind of blow up and get like 90k views, right? So from then I had a bit of activity on my channel. So I think going off of that momentum, I decided to try live streaming because my internet was good enough for it. So I think after that initial buzz, I think I had like maybe 50 people joining the first time, but obviously that's just because of the buzz of, oh, this person's streaming for the first time, right? So eventually that dwindled down to about like less than 5 or so. But the thing was, I think because I ended up using that initial buzz to kind of, put my best foot forward, I ended up kind of having a couple loyal small group of people. So even though I only had like 5 viewers for like years, literal years, I was streaming like Breath of the Wild to like 7 people, you know what I mean? And I still had an absolute blast. But because it was like I had a constant small like group of like just 10 of us that would show up like maybe 2 or 3 at a time. So even though I was always a small streamer, I always had people talking. But even then, there was always pockets where obviously people weren't. To which I say, one of the best things I ever did, and I think I'm so grateful for live streaming for this, is I think the reason why I didn't have a lot of things to talk about is because I just didn't do a lot. So how do you end up talking a lot on a live stream? Just do a lot of things and you have a lot of things to talk about. Once you get over that initial like worry of, oh, I'm just talking to a brick wall. Once you kind of get over that, which is a bit of a hump admittedly, but once you kind of get over that and you realize you just got a lot to say, you just end up talking and eventually someone will latch onto something and eventually you can get a conversation going. What it is essentially is you just got to throw enough like things at the wall for someone in the chat to just go, oh, hey, I know about that. And then you just keep talking from there, you know?
Yeah, I remember what I did back whenever, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm some like professional streamer, but what I used to do is whenever I would have no one watching my stream, I would literally just, and people say this all the time, like fake it till you make it, but literally just pretend like I have 1,000 people listening to me. And it helps so much with that feeling of awkwardness because even if there isn't anyone actually watching you, it makes the, talking as if you're a streamer way easier to do. And I remember one time I did that and some random person rated my stream on Twitch. And then all of a sudden, because I kept that energy up, it made it easier whenever I did have people in the chat.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where live streaming especially is a medium where someone could come in for like 10 seconds and see a 10-second snippet of you. So you want to make sure that like that 10-second snippet can be enough to maybe get someone to stick around.
You got to stay sharp.
Have you mastered the art of clip farming?
Listen, it's a dark art that I sometimes have to dabble in on occasion. But go on.
You were saying like you always gotta find a way to like stay active like the whole time, and there's some streamers that always like constantly they try to like one up themselves every single time, so they escalate like whatever shenanigans they're doing more and more and more and more, and sometimes they do have the budget, but for some other streamers they can't possibly afford to get that crazy, or they don't have the energy to put in all these reactions every 10 seconds or every like I don't know, every stream. It takes a lot.
It definitely takes a lot, but I would say, again, even the fact that I was able to go from relatively nothing, again, I was streaming small games to like 5 to 10 people for like 5 years. But I think what ended up gravitating people towards me is just you just got to have that like personality to be able to bounce off people, even if you don't have the fidelity to like do the crazy things that, like Germa ended up streaming in what, like a construction site outside or something like that. Ended up doing like an entire dollhouse, and you got Doug who does some crazy programming stuff. Like obviously that seems all very daunting when you see that, but those are people at the peak of their game. Like those are some of the best live streamers to ever do it. And at some point they were just someone in their room playing, I don't know, Peggle for like 10 people,
Playing Peggle?
Yeah, like or something like that, I mean, so what ends up happening is eventually people are just like, oh, I like this guy. His energy's infectious. And then eventually kind of snowballs from there. I think what you got to do is you got to make sure that you have the sort of mindset to keep that snowball going. And then eventually you can get something moving. Like if anything, I'm just kind of proof of that, right? Like right now I'm quite humbled that I have like hundreds, I can say that plural, is quite humbling, of people that watch me, which is very, very nice. But it initially started from the fact that there was something about me that these people obviously gravitated towards. Now granted, the content type helps. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. But the fact that even when I'm playing just like some chill game on my own, I still managed to have like a good fair dozen couple of people, indicates that there's something about me that they like to watch, So it doesn't have to be like all loudness and craziness. You just have to be on the ball. I think that's 100% the best advice I can give.
And one thing I was very curious about is the way that you go about finding videos to react to, because I know in your Discord server, you have correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a channel where people can suggest videos.
Yeah, people can do submissions, yeah.
So, but what do you do with those videos? Do you have moderators that like go like, yeah, this one's valid, let's send this over, or?
Not quite yet. Maybe I'd get to that point eventually. I'm not that famous, MrDean. I appreciate that. I
forgot. I see you as like an emperor of YouTube.
I'm just a commoner, just like you. Okay, MrDean. Okay, we're all the same. All right, we're all brothers in the end of the day. Okay, there is no dichotomy. There is no class system, MrDean. Okay, we're one and the same. All right. But when it comes to like submissions, sometimes I find the videos on my own. But thankfully, I get so many submissions. I don't necessarily have to go out my way these days anymore. But generally, once every now and again, I'll just look through, like skim the video to kind of feel a vibe. That's kind of how it is. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's more so I just feel the vibe of the video. If it feels like something where I feel like I can add to it, generally I'm interested in watching it. So if it feels like they're going like counter to something I believe in, or just offering a different kind of take I've never heard, that's something I'm interested in hearing. I think the number one, like I would say, rule that I only follow is it has to be someone who obviously seems like they've done this before. So like channel like yours, Mr. Dean, I kind of skimmed your channel and I saw, okay, this guy's been uploading videos for a while. It's not his first rodeo. I think I could probably react to his content even if he's a smaller channel, right? Does that make sense? If this is someone who like, they're like 15, it's their first YouTube video, I'm hardly going to watch them. Do you know what I mean? It just feels like a trial by fire in a sense, to be like in a stage in front of hundreds of people like, hello, well, look at this guy, am I right? Boom, find people on the soundboard.
Yeah, because I will say, if I was 15 years old and I uploaded my first video and then all of a sudden this dude with hundreds of live viewers started bullying my video,
oh god. It's a kind of thing where I have to see at least like, could someone take this in the good-natured way it is? And so if someone's like a bit too young or a bit too inexperienced, they're probably not going to be able to understand the good-natured vibe, you know?
But it gets more nuanced because we'll get to this in a minute. But there are people who don't take it the right way, and some of those people are much bigger channels than a 15-year-old with one.
Welcome to Drama Alert. My co-host star here would like to insinuate.
Drama Alert Nation. I'm your host, Mr. Dean, and let's get right into the news.
Donovan, in his defense, right? Occasionally he'll DM me and be like, Musty, what the hell is this guy talking about? I'm like, I don't know, bro. So Mr. Dean's been a bit of a drama Andy for a while. I always knew if I came on his podcast, he would have asked me. So this is no shock to me. So
all right,
do you want to go and get right into it? Let's go and rip the Band-Aid off.
Nin10ndoLand.
Okay, so tell us about what happened with a certain channel that rhymes with Nintendo.
So I think before we get into this, I just kind of want to like really quick say like my philosophy when it comes to reaction stuff, generally speaking, is firstly, I know this is all just like for fun and games. I think my number one mantra is just I'm having a bit of fun with it. I'm having a bit of banter. I come from a culture where banter is like king. You know what I mean? Like being able to like make fun of someone and be made fun of yourself, crucially important in the workplace.
I got bills to pay.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just having fun with it. Like that's all it is. When I turn off my stream, I'm hanging out with my wife. Do you know what I mean? I'm not here for the long haul. I'm not here to start a harassment campaign. It's always been like this. In fact, I have very, very strong anti-brigading policies, and anybody in my audience knows that already. So generally, I approach it from the fun. That's where like the soundboard comes from. I just throw in some sound effects just on the fun of it, just to let the people know that I'm having a bit of fun with it. I also make it clear that YouTube is a massive platform, right? And it has, as a result, it has a lot of moderation options. If, for example, my style of reaction is not to your favor and you don't like that I've done it, there are a lot of ways you can just simply pretend I don't exist. So, for example, if there's like a chat, like right now, I do a lot of Mario Kart reactions. So occasionally I'll get inundated with like big popular YouTube man, can you react to this guy, please? There's been instances where like I keep getting so inundated with those comments, I'll add his name to the block list and I'll just pretend he doesn't exist, you know? So, which is to say, if someone doesn't like a reaction of mine, you can very, very easily just put my name in a filter and call it a day. So when people say, like, for example, what happens if the original person sees you? I'm just like, they could literally just pretend I don't exist. Because I know I'm not going to harass them. I know if anyone in my audience harasses them, they're banned. So nothing is going to come of that. So the best you can do is just like literally just weather the storm, pretend I don't exist, and I'm going to move on and you're going to move on.
Turn off your phone.
Literally, I'm not even kidding. So what's interesting is when that doesn't happen and someone feels the need to get into it with me. So obviously that's when we get into it. Now, it's happened a couple of times, but usually it's just a small, like, you know, tit for tat here and there, we move on. But Nin10ndoLand is a gentleman that I think some of you guys in the Nintendo space are very familiar with, for better, for worse.
Nintendo has forgotten about Mario.
I'm so excited for this segment.
He is the Nintendo has forgotten guy, yes. And I think throughout the years, I've kind of seen his videos. I've reacted to some of his videos. I've kind of poked a little fun. I've kind of, you know, because he's a bit, I think it's fair to say, especially if you've watched him, he's a very, very, I call him a bing bing woohoo kind of guy, where it's just a bing bing woohoo Mario man, and that's
the
all
Nintendo adult.
Exactly.
You know?
Nintendo has forgotten about Mario, even though
yeah.
we got like 6 games for
My-
it.
my-
My Direct.
My all-time favorite segment was whenever it was his like stream reacting to the
listen,
Nintendo Switch 2.
hey, we don't gotta do. Listen, I'll get to that in a second. I'm telling you a story.
Sorry, I'm getting excited. Sorry.
All right, Mr. Dean Star. Okay, let me tell the story. I'm doing a thing. It's all good. So yeah, over the like years, or months, should I say, I've kind of reacted to the odd video of his. I've poked a little fun at just how much of a Nintendo fan he is, right? As I have, and I kind of just moved on with my day. Now, obviously,
Nintendo fan, aka Mario.
basically, I think that's fair to say. He's just a Mario, Zelda, Smash kind of guy. Now, this all came to a head when I reacted to the Nintendo Direct. One thing I like to do when I watch a Nintendo Direct is I like to just skim around other big channels watching it and see their thoughts too. This is what I plan to do, so I watched NintendoLand's first. Now, just to be clear, NintendoLand's the only person I watched that stream. Because his reaction was an absolute calamity is the best way to put it.
I think I've seen some other people react to it, but
Yeah,
my memory's a little
probably
bit foggy.
have.
I just remember people clowning on him.
Because it was one of those things. Now, one thing he will say when he revisionist histories this is, am I supposed to be excited for every game that gets announced? And we're just like, of course not. But when a highly anticipated release like Deltarune is shown on screen and you're visibly huffing and puffing, that is not the Bing Bing Woohoo Plumber Man, I'm going to laugh at you because that's extremely funny. And as far as I'm concerned, everyone should think that's extremely funny. Because
God forbid we get anything other than Mario.
It was insane. Every big like it was the one with Silk Song as well. Was finally shown. Bearing in mind, it's the first footage we've seen for ages. So even I, as someone who's never going to play the game, I don't really have any plans to. I was like, this is crazy. Silk Song, what the hell? Nintendo's reaction was none. He had no reaction. He was too busy sulking to pay attention. So the whole reaction was just me laughing at this man who was just, frankly, having a howler, to put it mildly, right? So I put my video up. I kind of give it an inflammatory title. I'll be real with you. I called him a Nintendo adult. Okay, I'll be real. I gave it like a really inflammatory title, right? But nothing that was inaccurate because it's fair to say he sounded like a bit of a Nintendo adult. And this is why he decides to go throw the gauntlet at me, Donovan. Right? He decides to take to his Twitter, take a couple of crass screenshots of my reactions of him, and go, listen, I know I'm a Mario fan, but this is bullying and harassment. And I'm just like, broski, what are we doing here?
I have seen that tweet out of context.
Yeah, and it was the funniest thing. Because like for me, bearing in mind, I just woke up the next day and saw this. So he tweeted about this hours ago. I was just coming out fresh from a shift and I go on Twitter and it's like, Musty NintendoLand's tweeted about you. I'm like, has he? What did I do? What, is he okay? What's happened? So then obviously I get the news that he's kind of like raking me over the coals on the Twitter machine. So I just had to obviously reply back saying, well, let's be real here. Your reaction was kind of insane. What are we doing here? And I think after I posted dozens of screenshots of people who have enjoyed my work, I think that's when he realized, okay, this is a bit of a losing battle. I'm just going to apologize. And to be fair, I did bury the hatchet with him. I'm not like, I didn't also like decide to go, ha ha ha. But it was just a bit of a strange that he couldn't have the self-awareness to realize, yeah, that reaction was kind of dog. I'll be real with you. So he just wasn't a fan of me from then point onwards. He really wasn't. Was it? Is that what he's with here, Mr. Dean, or is there another part of the story that I missed out?
Well, being that I'm a professional drama channel now, I have to make sure we don't miss anything. And I believe my sources told me that there was some AI scandalous activity.
So if we're doing a little jumping on, so I think as the months have gone on, I've kind of covered him here and there, but I've left it kind of off the wayside, right? So, but as of recently, I would say the most recent tussle with me and Landon is he made a community. And bearing in mind, I kind of put a bit of like a soft blacklist on Nintendo Land. I think it's when because one thing I also make sure I do, just to be a bit honest with my audience, is that I'm like, listen, I don't like to go after one target like constantly, right? I kind of go on this mantra of I'll react to someone. If I make fun of them, I made fun of them for that one occasion. I'm moving on. Like when people recommend
not milking the same lolcow,
basically, right? But no, I wouldn't say lolcow, but let's say for example I had a video where someone just had a bad take. I think a good example
Donovan is ripping in. Oh my,
yeah, he really is. He knows the terminology. He knows lolcow. But for example, there was another person I reacted to called Pariah 695, right? He made a howler of a take when it came to the Switch 2. Like he gave it the classic, but the economy, but gaming's a luxury, like the most awful takes you could think of. I clowned on him for that, but I moved on. That's the important part of my mantra, is that if someone has a shit take, I'm going to clown you for the take, but as long as you don't have another bad take, I'm just going to move on. Like, I'm not just going to constantly clown you for the sake of clowning you. That's not how I do. I'll just make fun of people for having bad takes, or I praise them for having good takes, and I move on with my day. So when Landon makes a community post talking about how he may have to use AI in the future to make his videos, I'm just like, Landon, your videos are already dog shit easy to make. You just talk about the news, broski. What are we doing here, lad? Are we serious? Are we for serious, Landon? Are we joking here? So of course now
he needs more time to like go on Twitter and write more twit-longers.
Basically. So again, it was just another classic case of I just called him out on it. And bearing in mind, I think this is the part that makes it very, very suspicious that he hates me. I'm the Voldemort in his community. I read it because he doesn't even want to name me, Donovan. Because
he's the Grim Reaper.
I really am the Grim Reaper to this man. I don't even want to talk about it. I think he's fine. I think he's harmless. He's just a Nintendo adult. He's harmless to me. But it's really funny how I read the post, I gave my take. I didn't upload the video talking about it until 2 weeks later, which his post was still up. Then the moment my video goes live, his post goes down and he makes a clarification. So he's keeping an eye out for me.
He has a tab on you.
He really does. Because I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, and then obviously he has the nerve to also say in the amended community post that, looks like my name's being dragged through the mud again. I'm like, tell me what part of my video was a lie. I think one of the best parts about my reactions is I show the full context for everyone. I'm not editing anything. That's way too much time. I don't want to do that. So I just leave it mostly unedited. So when he says I'm dragging his name through the mud, like, what reality are we living in here, broski? Like, you said you very clearly presented AI as an option you want to use in the future of your videos when you don't have to, but for a series that he's made without it. So, of course, when I said, why are you using it now? I want to make fun of you. I want to be like, what are you doing, bro? So you got the money for it. Stop being a cheapskate and pay for some fucking eyes. Draw it yourself. And, of course, he was like, my name's being dragged through the mud. I can't believe, by a certain someone that I won't name. I'm just like, I don't get it. And I think that segues quite neatly. As much as Mr. Dean Star over here is loving the drama, I think it segues quite cleanly into, I know you love it. I think it segues nicely into like my philosophy behind like reaction content and like criticism as a whole. Because when it comes to reaction content, firstly, I think it's very cut and dry. I think I offer enough transformative elements to the content in that while I am watching the whole thing, I have more than triple, 4 times, 5 times, even 6 times sometimes the runtime with the elements that I add to a video, which means that there's a uniquely different experience from someone watching the video on their own versus watching me. So when people obviously make claims about that, I'm not too interested. I think the other more interesting claim is when people say like, I'm a bit too harsh or I'm a bit of a bully or this and that. Firstly, as I mentioned, I don't really tend to harp on one target for too long. If someone has a bad take, I'll say they had a bad take. Someone had a good take, I'll say it was a good take. But I think one of the more interesting things is when it comes to the nature of critique as a whole. I think, Mr. Dean, I think you'll probably want to channel on this because I've watched one of your videos, right? I very clearly like label my videos as if you, the content creator, want to watch it, you can feel free to watch it. But I think it's predominantly made for the entertainment of my audience. So if you do want to watch it and you do get something out of it, I'm happy for you. But I personally just want to offer my take on top of your content, if that makes sense, right? That's kind of what I'm doing here. So if you do get anything out of it, fantastic. But that's not my predominant goal. And I think maybe some people take umbrage with that and say, I think the sort of idea is if you are going to offer critique or feedback to your fellow creator, maybe you should do it in a more, respectful quote unquote manner. To which I say, this is just like what I'm like. To do this type of content in the way that you probably want me to is for me to never do this again. I'm quite a banterous person. If you make fun of me, I'll make fun of you. That's just what I'm like. And I kind of translate that to all styles of content I make, be it my reaction stuff, my tier list stuff. This is just what I'm like. So it's fair enough if you don't like it. I've had plenty of people say they don't like my style and I'm too harsh, I'm too mean, or I crack too many jokes, or maybe I talk to your goat. Leave me alone. Leave my goat alone. I've had a couple of people say that about me all the time. I'm like, that's all well and good. But for me, I'm just having fun with it. At the end of the day, it's just I'm having fun with it, and that's the end of it. So, Mr. Dean, I think this segues perfectly.
Afterwards, you just get off the internet and you go home to your wife.
Basically, yeah. I think that's the important bit that I think a lot of people don't forget as well. Is that not only do I just like leave it there, like I bury the hatchet there personally, is I also make it very clear to my audience that they should do the same thing as well. That's not to say that it's obviously perfect. There's always going to be some stragglers that feel the need to also chime in with their 2 cents. But I know, and this is like the number one best thing about my community, is that once I watch someone, if you have anything funny to say at their expense, leave it in my comment section and just don't ever interact with them. That's what I say. And I think I do a good job of that. Would you say, Mr. Dean?
No, you do. Because what I was going to say is also, I feel like a prevailing idea about not only your channel but reactors in general is that they kind of benefit off of the work of other people, which if you aren't really thinking objectively about it, I could see why someone might think that way. But I remember after you made your video, I commented, just being like, thank you. Like, and I kind of said a sentence or whatever, like, I can definitely see how certain elements of this video I could have done better. And I had people reply to my comment saying like, I never even knew about your channel before, but I subscribed. And I was like, hey, well, that's one example right there of how, it's you're not literally just like, you're not like a parasite that's just like attaching onto my channel, just like taking like views away from my video.
SS Sniper Wolf.
Dude, Donovan with the name drops today.
I love how you hit him with the Mr. Dean star, and you know all the time. You know about all of this. You're not above it, are you, Donovan? You know all the stuff. You know all the stuff, man. God damn.
Yeah. Maybe we should be talking about Dud Star over here, not Mr. Dean Star.
This is my secret enjoyment.
Honestly,
I'm writhing in
he's
the
talking
drama.
about lol cows, he knows about the sniper wolves. It just doesn't end with this guy, does it? Oh my god.
Another thing too that I like about how you do your reactions versus other people, and this is kind of something I touched on whenever we were on a call the other day, but the fact that you actually add commentary to the video versus what Donovan said with Sniper Wolf or many other streamers who react to videos out there, is they just sit there, watch the video, and just maybe pause it every 10 minutes, like every minute, and go like, oh yeah, that's a good take, and then just keep playing. And that's where, in my opinion, it becomes problematic, because then you're just kind of like clicking record and getting views off of it.
I think it goes without a shadow of a doubt saying that obviously I disavow any of that lazy reaction slot. That's the reaction slot that everyone needs to get angry at 100%. Because I think for me, and I've had people say this to me, I didn't actually consider this, because once again, I just think this is fun. I just do it because it's fun. If YouTube said I can't do reaction stuff anymore, I'd be like, well, guys, I guess we're not doing reaction stuff. Like, I'm not married to this style of content. I just have fun doing it. But I think if there's something that I think someone has DM'd me in private and said that they've enjoyed my reaction, is that it was quite neat getting a candid look at someone who has no idea of me, no inclination to be nice to me, and just getting like someone's raw thoughts, if that makes sense. Obviously under the guise of they're entertaining their audience, but there was a bit of value in that in and of itself, which I thought was quite interesting, because when I think about it, I'm like, who could I realistically go up to and ask them to give them their thoughts on my video that is impartial, isn't going to blow smoke up my ass, and just going to give it to me straight? Does that make sense? Like, there's very few, like, that sort of like lens is quite hard to find. So if I can also offer that to some content creators, which some said they do, and I think they thought it was quite fascinating, I think that just only makes for a boon. Now, of course, the elephant in the room is that obviously making the video is far more like effort than me just watching it. So I just say, yeah, that's true. But I would like to imagine that there's at least some element that you can take away from it, where it's at least a beneficial relationship for the both of us. Which, as I said, if any creator, and I think I said this, I think it's in the about section of my channel, if any creator wants to be like on a blacklist and doesn't want me to feature them again, I'm okay with that. I think I've had that happen before. I'm okay with that too. So it's not like a case of I'm just going to take your stuff regardless of what you think, even if it is transformative. I always want both parties to come away like at least somewhat satisfied, you know?
And I think that is once again part of what, in my opinion, makes your format not problematic, is because you do kind of have a creator-minded outlook on, the format, where someone else, even if they did the exact same type of stream and reacting thing as you, they had the same philosophy, if they didn't give creators that ability to opt out of it from their own perspective, then I could definitely see how someone would be like, hey, well, you're like unconsensually just watching people's videos and everything. But giving people the ability to just, opt out of it if they do want to, I think that is a really like good gesture and a way to kind of like mitigate that potential problem that people might have with it.
I think it's a nice olive branch to extend. If anybody has like been featured and they don't want to be here again, I'm more than okay with doing that. But it's just one of those things where I think reaction content just gets a bad rap, which again, rightfully so. I've never, whenever people call my reaction content reaction slop, I never get angry. I never complain. I'm like, you're right. you're just right. It kind of is. And but like, I'd like to imagine that like, at least again, if we were to stack them all up, I'm at least doing it better than most. I like to believe. You know?
I think of you in a very similar, and this is a compliment, not a bad thing. I think of you in a very similar vein to Joe Bartolozzi, but if he was a Nintendo reactor. For anyone that doesn't know what Joe Bartolozzi does, he reacts to a lot of random like videos that his viewers suggest. However, the stuff he does is generally like very random. Like sometimes it's gaming, sometimes it's like philosophy. It could be anything. But it's similar to you in the sense that one, I'm pretty sure it's viewer suggested, or sometimes maybe he just like randomly finds them, but also a lot of them are small creator videos that he links in the description. And that's something I appreciate also about what you do, is that you both react to, your Nintendo Lands, your Nathaniel Bandies, your big channels, but you also do give a spotlight to small Nintendo creators that, despite what people may say, is, in my opinion, a net positive for both people, because it gives them potential new viewers. It also gives them a way to hear constructive criticism about their content. So if they do watch your video and they have the right outlook on it, they can actually be like, hey, you know what? Like, maybe something that you said they don't agree with, but maybe another thing they're like, okay, you know what? Yeah, the pacing of this video, I could have done better. Or maybe the footage on screen during this part, I didn't do a good job at, editing it in a way that proved my point and to the best of my ability.
I think that's the other thing that's also quite important too, is that even if I offer a critique that you don't necessarily agree with, it could be something that you could put on the back burner and refer to it later if it ends up being a reoccurring thing. Like, for example, one of the things I sometimes get a bit of shtick for is my excessive soundboard use. I just have a lot of fun with it, if I'm going to be honest. And it's something that has been like a recurring critique for a while. I see it like once every like now and again, but I think it's one of those things where if you see something often enough and over enough span of a time, I think it should 100% be something you consider. So even if a critique I offer in that moment is not pertinent to how you feel now, if like 3 months later someone says the same thing, and then like 2 weeks later someone says the same thing, you can obviously see a pattern of consistency over a period of time where at least it's something for you to consider. Whether you change your style or not, it's completely up to you, obviously. But if you've obviously seen this consistently enough, then it should be something considered. Like I said, for me, it's the soundboard stuff, but I've considered it. I'm like, I just have too much fun with it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop doing it.
Well, yeah, it's like content is subjective too. It's like, just because some people don't like the soundboard thing, maybe your content just isn't for them. That doesn't make it innately right or wrong.
But that's also one of the like important nuances behind critique. Because when sometimes one of the criticisms I get, ironically enough, is that the critique I give is not substantive enough. To which I say, even if it doesn't apply to you now, it might apply to you later. Or if anything, even if it doesn't, that only strengthens your resolve in how you're doing something more. Like, say for example, someone says, I am too mean, or I am too this. For me, again, this is just what I'm like culturally. Like, British, we love our banter, we love our style. So when someone says that I'm too mean or too this, I just know that my style isn't for you. Like, I'm so like confident in how I do this that when I am offered that critique, I can deflect it right away. So it's one of those things where when you get it, you kind of have to compartmentalize it in a way that makes sense to you. You either deflect it right away if you know if it's something you're comfortable with. You can either put it away for later to see if it's something that ends up appearing over time, or you can simply dissuade it if it's just someone being a prick to you. You know, I mean, it depends really. I think it's one of those interesting nuances of critique that people don't really talk about, and I think it's fascinating.
Right. Donovan, was there anything that you wanted to add to that before we move on?
No, since I am an architecture student, every single day we get critiqued on like the littlest things, and I want to either like cry of happiness or want to kill myself. So critique is it's a very long process, but it's generally most of the time it's to help you grow.
It definitely is.
That's the TLDR version.
And even if like the style, sorry, just the final bit. Even if the style and the way I do it isn't like exactly like pertinent to you, I like to imagine it's at least something that at least you could take something from it. You know, maybe I don't know.
Donovan had enough with you, Musty. He was like, no, let's move on.
Nah, he's cutting me off. He's cutting me off.
Well, we are almost running out of time, but we have a couple questions and maybe one little topic that we could talk about, or maybe two if we have time. But firstly, so the Mario movie Direct is coming out
tomorrow,
a day after we record this. But by the time people hear this, it will have already come out. So let's just pretend that we already seen it because we are true insiders. Did you guys hear Awkwafina as Rosalina? I can't believe that.
That's the main theory going on.
Yeah, Kevin Hart as Yoshi. This might be the best movie.
The casting's amazing.
Guys, are we leaking this? Oh my god, guys, stop leaking. Oh my god, this is cheeky. I don't like this. Oh my god.
Did you see the Rizzler himself got a cameo as a Luma?
Oh my god.
Brain rot has injected itself into the special hour.
Oh
Mr. Beast is the Spin Bunny.
6'7" kid made an appearance? Oh my god, it's amazing. It's amazing.
10 out of 10 movie. But other than that, Nintendo has released a brand new app.
Is that seriously our commentary on the Mario Galaxy movie?
Yeah, that's it, because we don't know anything.
Mr. Dean's had enough. He's had enough. But
He's like, what the fuck?
I think we haven't seen it yet, so we don't know. But what I will say is that, like, I will be seated. I will be ready. That's all I'm saying. Like, for me, when people come in and ask me what's your thoughts, I'm just like, I'll watch it. I'll let you know. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say.
I'm ready for like a 6 out of 10 experience.
Yeah, because it's like with the Super Mario Bros. Movie, it was good, but like it was nothing mind-blowing. So it was interesting enough for me to be interested in watching a sequel, but I'm not like going in holding my breath or anything, you know? What about you, Mr. Dean?
Oh, I completely agree. Mainly what I'm looking for is something that is relatively faithful to obviously the source material, as faithful as you possibly have to be with a fucking Mario story. As long as we get some sweeping instrumentation like we had in Mario Galaxy, maybe some fun Easter eggs, like then I'll be happy. It's just, like, honestly, I had the same thoughts in the original Mario movie from a few years back, where it wasn't the greatest, Oscar award winning movie of all time. It was just a fun time. You know what I mean? I just want that. Honestly, that's my bar.
I just wish they slowed down sometimes. Just slow down. Like, the Mario movie was very fast paced. We went from one scene to the next like in an instant, and you're always pointing at like things. Oh my god, is that Star Fox? Oh.
Yeah, one thing I did kind of want differently, I guess, is kind of like what you were just saying about the pacing, where in the original, like, I remember they went through all the different like levels, and they just kind of like breezed right over it. And I remember that's something that whenever I was going into the movie, I was kind of excited to see, like, okay, now they're going to go to the desert kingdom and they're going to talk. It's kind of like Mario Odyssey, which obviously in a movie, they only have 2 hours or so to do that. But aside from their like trip to the Donkey Kong like jungle, whatever that area was called in the movie, they just kind of skimmed over everything. And I remember watching it just like, oh,
yeah, that was quick.
It was a bit of a shame, wasn't it? Yeah.
Do we have one more time? A few more minutes for the Nintendo Store app? Sure.
Well, you already brought it up, Donovan. So now we have to talk about it.
Okay. So, the Nintendo Store app, brand new app with an asterisk. I remember making a video on My Nintendo a year ago talking about this app. It was called the My Nintendo app, exclusive to Japan. For some reason, they've had it for years, never brought it anywhere else, but now it's here globally, and they renamed it to the Nintendo Store, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because like the store aspect is like 1/3 of the app, maybe half of the app experience. Like the other half is play history and news. So it's like, why rename it to the store? Yeah, the name My Nintendo app was perfectly fine. Also, like, where does Nintendo want us to get their news? The Nintendo Store, the Nintendo Today app, not the Nintendo Switch app.
Have you not heard, Donovan? There's like a Nintendo News app as well.
Yeah, Nintendo Today. It's like, what? And then you got Twitter.
And then there's Nintendo Tomorrow as well for stuff that's going on tomorrow.
And Nintendo Yesterday for like retrospectives about the games that they were
that's why they do that, like on this day in blank, that's when this came out. That's why they do that stuff, that sort of content farming is perfect, honestly. Nintendo last week, overrated if you ask me. They keep talking about the GameCube. Not big on that. Big GameCube nostalgia. Not a fan. Personally, not a fan.
Nintendo Cocomelon, where we got Close to You, Pikmin shorts. Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, honestly, Nintendo Cocomelon kind of fell off.
Child propaganda is awesome.
Can't be doing that. Can't be doing it. Not in my house.
Can they stop making fucking apps though? Like I just want a Nintendo app. That's all I want. Just a Nintendo app.
Okay, but what's wrong with multiple apps though, Mr. D? I don't understand.
Well, it's just annoying. It's annoying. I don't know. Look, hey,
as if your phone doesn't have as much enough memory for all of these apps. Or you just hate downloading stuff. Listen, you'll have your red apps on your phone and you'll enjoy it, okay?
I'm really not trying to be that guy. Like, I promise I'm not trying to be. I am being that guy. Mm-hmm. But I want to just be complacent with, because obviously Nintendo's giving us, new outlets for, with Nintendo Today, seeing news, even though in my opinion they should just do that on other social media apps because it limits their potential audience, but that's a rant for another day. With the new app, with the Nintendo Store app, personally, I don't like seeing my play history because it makes me feel like a degenerate.
What do you mean? You say that as I'm scrolling back to 2011, Mr. Dean. I'm loving life, okay? Seeing all the games I used to play. Oh
I don't know why.
I think the play history is nice. It's a nice addition.
I get why people like looking at it. I do think that they also should just let you see more info on the Switch in the first place, aside from just like, oh, you've played Super Mario Odyssey for 400 hours or whatever. But
you don't like them rounding up hours to like multiples of 5 for some strange reason? You don't like when they do that?
No, I don't. I don't. I have to say I don't like that. Going from Steam where it tells you like even the decimal point and then going over to I can't say.
Yeah, that's ultra degenerate, and I like that.
Oh man,
why doesn't Nintendo bring that? I have no idea. The thing is, I do kind of like the store aspect. I do like that it's in an app. However, whenever you tap on an item, it just takes you to the website. So like, who's designing this app?
Okay, so fuck the app then. Fuck that. Okay, there's no point. You're right, Mr. Dean. I'm so sorry.
Okay. All right, let's hit pause really quick. Sir Musty, you were just getting on my case 5 minutes ago.
Listen, I don't mind downloading apps, but if you're gonna take me out the app to a fucking browser, delete the app. I'm sorry. You're gone. That's annoying.
So we can make a compromise. We can make a compromise.
I'm dapping you up, my brother. I apologize. I'm so sorry I doubted you.
So we both hate Nintendo for 2 different reasons now.
Literally, we're both lockstep, but with different causes, holding different signs.
Yes,
I'm okay with that.
Can't wait for the grifting video, guys.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be perfect.
Time for the usual weekly questions coming from Try. We have, what's your rankings of the current Switch 2 games, exclusives, more specifically? Ooh. So let's start with Sir Musty.
Does the Switch 2 have games? I wasn't familiar with the Switch 2.
Here we go.
We're not talking about the PS5.
So, as of now, it's what if we're talking just exclusive. If we're talking, I'm guessing we're just talking just games that were just released on the Switch 2 and nothing else, right? Like no previous,
Switch
not a
2 exclusives.
So would that be DK Bonanza, Welcome Tour, Mario Kart Worlds?
Oh, you're forgetting the big one.
Which big one am I?
Dragon Drive.
My bad. I'm so sorry. Peak. I'm so sorry. I forgot about Dragon Drive.
I got me and Donovan were in sync there.
I got played. I got this. That was a special hour moment right there.
Can we also include Fast Fusion for any of us that have played it? Because that is an exclusive.
For me, I think the 2 big ones I'd like to talk about is obviously Mario Kart World and DK Bonanza. Now, I've seen a lot of people online. Talk about how DK Bonanza is an overrated flop, saying that DK Bonanza is not that good after all. Well, I would say that I think the one main criticism of that game seems to be if you just don't like the brainless punching, then you're not going to like it that much. I think in every other aspect, though, I think it just shines fantastically. Strangely enough, on a story perspective too, from a Nintendo game, I didn't think the story would win me over, but I kind of fell in love with the duo of DK and Young Pauline. They're just so adorable.
I was watching your stream. You were dogging. Wait, did you actually not know Pauline was in the game?
No,
because I was watching your stream. You didn't look at like the art on the game on your home menu.
I didn't know who that was. I'm like, who's that? Is that fucking Sheila from like
That's
Accounts?
Incredible.
I don't know who that is, bro. Like, for me, it's one of those things where if I know I'm buying a game, I just don't look anything up, and I'm just like, who's down the box? I don't know. I don't know if it's Young Pauline. I mean, she looks like Young Pauline, but I don't know. So I just didn't know. I genuinely have no idea. So when I saw her, I'm like, what the fuck? They got Young Pauline there? And yeah, I just really like the duo. I thought it was just adorable. And at the end, when she lets DK go to do her singing career, whatever it was, I just thought it was a really neat story. You know what I mean? And obviously, I don't know if we're doing spoilers here, but there's obviously certain parts of the story that I think other people will enjoy once they get to certain parts. So if the punching was brainless, I can understand you not enjoying it. But I think in every other instance, I think it shines for me. So I'd give it a straight up like 9.5 out of 10. I really would. Very much in love with that game. As for Mario Kart World, though, I mean, people said I have to hate it, so you guys know.
Yeah, I don't think you're not allowed to like it.
Mr. Dean Star said I have to hate it.
You can't like Nintendo.
I can't be doing that. But in all seriousness, though, easily one of the best. Like it's so good. It's like when people say, "What's the best Mario Kart game now?" Like it's not even a contest anymore. Mario Kart World is so good. It's just a shame that Nintendo doesn't realize it's so good.
But intermissions, but straight line.
Oh no! Oh, nevertheless, no, I can't believe this. I think making Mario Kart more complex is something that they've needed to do for a while, and I'm glad they finally did it. Coming from someone who used to play like Super Circuit, where that game has some of the like high skill ceiling when you get down to the meat and potatoes of it, seeing Mario Kart go back to that sort of game design with its like wall riding and like tricking and parkour stuff, genuinely extremely refreshing, and some of the best nitros they've ever made. It is honestly a fantastic game.
I still remember whenever you commented on my Super Circuit video, like, he's one of us.
Yeah, listen, we're a dying race. Okay, our Super Circuit stands. All right, I'll take anything I can get. But genuinely a fantastic game, and my belief is that like, that game is 2 updates away from being the best Mario Kart objectively. They just need to not kill their online, please, Nintendo. Maybe you need to stop doing that. But yeah, I'd give it a 9 as well. Honestly, fantastic game. What about you, Donovan?
Wait. So what's your ranking though?
I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9, and I give
No.
DKB
I mean your ranking of the games compared to one another. Because there's also Welcome Tour. There's
Welcome to. I'm not counting Welcome Tour, bro. What are we doing here, Mr. Dean? Come on, broski. Come on, man.
I don't know why you're yelling at me. Donovan's the one that named them.
Okay.
Hey, I wasn't the one that made the question.
Okay,
so now you're blaming Try. Now you're blaming Try.
All right, so Try. I don't know about this Try guy. You know what? That's it. Try. I'm reacting to your video. I'm stealing your content now. That's it.
We're sending Sir Musty your way, Try.
That's it. I'm getting my soundboard. Me and my soundboard bros are coming in. All right, we're coming in there. But yeah, I think those are only 2 games I really want to talk about.
Okay, Donovan. What's your ranking of Mario Kart and Donkey Kong? Since those are the only 2 Switch 2 games. All right.
Donkey Kong on top.
No. Are you ready to get on my case? Listen, I thought it was an open-ended question. I'm sorry, Mr. Dean. I didn't realize I was under the gauntlet here. Of all the times for you to get animated, you get angry at me for not considering Welcome Tour and Drag X Drive. My mistake. Let me correct this. Sorry, hang on. My mistake. Number 4, Welcome Tour. Number 3, Drag X Drive. Number 2, Mario Kart World. And number 1, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Is that all right, Mr. Dean Star? Is that all right?
See, now I'm excited because now I get to make a new Mr. Dean Alert Nation video about how Sir Musty called me out.
Musty crashes out on stream. I can't wait for another one of those, all right? Amazing.
All right, Donovan, what's your ranking? Yeah, what's your ranking?
I mean, okay, Donkey Kong Bonanza is probably my game of the year alongside Expedition 33. Donkey Kong Bonanza is one of the pinnacles of its genre. That's what I think. I mean, I agree with most of your takes, Sir Musty, so I don't want to reiterate.
Most of them.
So, okay.
Drama farmer. God.
I'm just instigating.
There's only one part. There's only 1 or 2 things that rubbed me the wrong way. Or it didn't even rub. It's more like tiny nitpicks. I think the story with Pauline's stage fright, I feel like they could have just gone just a little bit harder on that. It just would have packed more of an emotional punch. But what we got is still pretty great. It's just a minor nitpick. Like, she's like, oh, I'm afraid. And then she instantly sings like the best singer in the world. Like, there's no real tension. It's like, all right, just get on with it.
Okay, yeah,
and then the other thing is like, okay, the skill tree, when you go for 100%, you can't, when you get all of the Bananium gems, you can't even fill up the entire skill tree.
Oh, really?
Why would you do that? Oh. Why is that its design? If you want to finish the skill tree, you have to get all the Bananium gems, and you got to farm like 1 billion like banana chips. Like,
that's ridiculous.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that is a bit stupid. You're right.
Did they forget? I don't know. And I guess one other thing, like the first Void Kong battle, you had to go through all the layers. Maybe it's just a limitation of the hardware, but you have to like load into every layer, and that just takes takes time.
Definitely,
if it was like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, where the fast SSD loading of the PS5, it just would have been better if it was like that. But the Switch 2 can't do that. But those are my only nitpicks.
The title of this podcast is going to be in all caps. Donovan hates Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I hate Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh, come on, that'd be perfect.
That thumbnail. I saw that in my recommended again today. I'm kind of tempted to click on it. Mario Kart World. I think it's one of the best Mario Karts. I think it's like right below 8 Deluxe and Wii. I think I have like 8 Deluxe and Wii a little bit higher purely because of the blessing of time. I need more time with Mario Kart World to call it my favorite game. But what Mario Kart World has is a really, really solid foundation. I think the open world concept, I was reiterating this in my last video, like people think Breath of the Wild infected like a ton of Nintendo games,
I've seen that take. Yeah,
including like Mario Kart World. And I think I think an open world concept for Mario Kart World, I feel like it's a logical progression for the series. I mean, we had Charlie's Cafe, like, in a previous episode, talking about how he loved just looking around the different courses of Mario Kart. Not even playing Mario Kart, just looking around. And I think connecting all the different courses is a brilliant shakeup to the formula.
Yeah, it gives each of them, like, context.
Another Mario Kart. If you just wanted... like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again, just go play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
It's fair, honestly.
I feel like with Mario Kart World, I feel like how do you top Mario Kart 8? You don't. You got to go somewhere new. And I think though there are some roadblocks, the Mario Kart World is a very, very solid foundation. And like what you said, maybe 2 updates away from perfection. It's not perfect right now, but what we have is pretty solid. What else we got? Welcome Tour. Who cares? Should have came with the Switch 2. Dragon Drive might be the peak of gaming. So Dragon Drive is game of the year, game of the decade even. So what about you, Mr. Dean?
I feel like I'm going to be beating a dead horse, but my thoughts on Donkey Kong Bonanza is pretty much what both of you guys said. I think it is one of the most fun and addicting platformers I've ever played. Like controlling wise, it feels incredible. It kind of gives, this is going to sound like a bad thing, but I don't mean it in a bad way. It has that brain rotty feel to it where it's just like you're just punching the wall and it just feels satisfying. I've seen people use that as a critique, like, oh, but it removes exploration because you can literally just punch your way to each objective and like, but I'm like, well, it's fun. Like
it's just fun.
That is exploring, the punching.
And leveling up is fun. All the levels have such a unique and creative vibe to them. There's a lot of dynamics with the environments. You know, like you start out in the frozen layer, for example, and then you go down and it becomes like lava filled. Like there's just a lot of cool, you know, design choices. I think Donkey Kong Bonanza would be the top of the heap for me. I'm gonna give my crazy take though and say Fast Fusion I actually kind of prefer over Mario Kart World.
Oh my god!
And I'm not saying
Dean
that
hates Mario Kart World.
Okay, drama farming is mine. I'm the drama farmer. Back off. Okay.
My bad, bro.
When we were playing the Kirby Air Riders demo, we were also talking about Mario Kart World is ass now.
No. Okay. Okay. I was joking. It's not ass.
First-hand account here, Mr. Deanstar. I can't believe this.
Okay, it's not. I don't think it's ass. I just think that playing Kirby Air Riders and playing Fast Fusion and watching people play Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is making me look at Mario Kart World in a different lens.
You're Squidward in the window looking at everyone else running around. Is that what you're saying?
Kind of. Because it's like with Mario Kart World, I still think it's a great game. And I fully respect what Nintendo did with it and taking the series in an open world direction. I just can't help but feel like I am still more compelled to go back to Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Kind of like what Donovan was saying. And maybe time just has to, you know, like maybe I just have to give the game room to breathe and Nintendo the ability to potentially update it. But like with Fast Fusion, even with the limited amount of tracks in that game, the core gameplay is just so fun that I have to give my flowers to it, because plus it's like $15 versus $80.
Honestly, they need to raise the price.
That's the problem. It's too cheap. That's the problem.
Dude, it's $500 plus my electricity bill, plus my TV.
Come on,
plus
it doesn't even cost one whole Silk song. Like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, come on, man. It's like 0.75 Silk songs, Mr. Dean. How are you recommending a game that's not even one Silk song?
You know what? You're right. I should just go delete my YouTube account.
Shut up. I've heard good things about Fast Fusion, so I'm excited to give it a try when I eventually get around to it.
And then Dragon Drive and Welcome Tour can both be tied for last place. Both of those games. Well, okay, at least Welcome Tour apparently is fun for those that have played it. So I'll let that be like slightly above. But
oh my god, Dragon Drive is below Welcome Tour?
Because at least Welcome Tour, like at least people have had fun with it. Like that have played it.
Can toe the company line, why don't you?
I have fun reading like my car's instruction manual.
Oh, literally, honestly, it just doesn't end with this guy. Chill. We went from Mr. Dean Stars to Mr. Chill over here.
Both of them suck. I didn't say I like it. They both like.
Okay, listen. Dragon Drive might be exhausting after like 2 games, but at least it's a game. Okay, go on, Mr. Dean.
Okay, my rebuttal to that. My rebuttal to that is either way, Nintendo can go fuck themselves for both of those two games. How about that?
Really fucking shaking the book with that take, eh, Mr. Dean? Nice deflection there, bucko.
You just called me a shill, so I have to disprove the allegation.
Here. We have 2 more questions. We'll go through them fairly quickly. Do you think the next generation is worse than ours? From Sid
Wait. Okay, before we move on, I can't help but feel like there's some animosity between me and Sir Musty.
No, we're fine. No, we're fine. I'm just fucking
I don't want to have to bring the Mr. Dean star out. You know what I mean? Like I want to.
I swear we're fine. I swear. Okay, don't worry. We'll play Dragon Drive after this. Okay, we'll be all chill.
Okay, you're right.
Okay, don't worry.
Yeah, 1v1 of Dragon Drive.
1v1. Okay, we'll settle on the court. Okay.
Okay, so read Sid Len's question, please.
Yeah, Sid said, do you think the next generation is worse than ours? Like, in terms of brain rot? Most definitely. They probably have, like, pea-sized brains. I mean...
Oh my god, are you one of those, Donovan? You're like, 6-7 is so cringe. Meanwhile, you're going 17, 30. Yeah, you're one of those. Don't tell me one of those, Donovan.
No. What are those?
So I have little cousins, right?
Daniel! That was you, bro.
Little cousins that will not get off their phones at the dinner table, and they are constantly spewing. It's like, oh, I thought I was bad.
I will say that, like, I'm in agreement. I think phones at a dinner table, that's just disrespect, if anything.
Oh, I agree.
Honestly.
I agree. Fully agree. But my answer to this question is that I think that it's human nature to kind of think that the next generation is worse.
I agree.
I feel like it's been like this forever. It's like first I mean I wasn't there, but I'm assuming whenever boomers were, getting into adult age, they were like, man, these Gen Xers are so cringe, or not, they didn't say cringe.
Oh yeah, that definitely happened. No, I get what you mean.
Like millennials now.
Yeah, in their own verbiage, they were like, oh wow, they're so stupid and like they don't understand it. So I was just gonna say, I think it's really funny how we had Sir Musty on to talk about all of our other stuff that we had planned, and I was not expecting to talk about the ethics of generation gaps and like how
I think it's one of those things. I've actually read a lot about this. I'm actually well read. Okay,
no, it actually is. It's a fascinating topic. I'm just saying I wasn't expecting for it to get brought up.
I'm a man of many hats. Okay, Mr. Dean. Okay. I could be drama Musty, or I can be like fake philosopher Musty.
This is a well-rounded gaming podcast.
Yeah, literally.
We could say that.
It's one of those things where like I do empathize a lot with that, because I'm so glad I could grow up being cringe and no one knows about it, man. I'm so happy, bro. I used to see some of the wildest shit in those Call of Duty lobbies, bro, but no one's gonna know. But these kids, they say one thing weirdly, and that's it. Oh my god, it's over. It's over. The whole world for them is over. Never getting into Harvard, never having friends again, no girlfriend, no nothing, no job. I'm like, I'm not even kidding. I think I've said this as a joke, but as I grow older, it's not becoming more of a joke. I think there's going to be a presidential election that's going to be dictated by how many kills someone got in Fortnite one time. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, it's going to get that crazy, bro. Because like both of them about, that one. Listen, literally, a presidential debate will be like, my opponent here, this ungodly Democrat, he ended up not, he played no builds on Fortnite. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? I said, that's not true. That's not true. I used to play builds all the time with the boys. That's not true. We have the recordings. We used to have your old Twitch fun. That's not true. That's not true. He's lying, Your Honor. Mr. Speaker, get into stuff. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And that's
we had a 1v1 build battle, and I won.
No, he cheated, Your Honor. He cheated. He got his older brother to play.
He played League of Legends when he was 12.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, have you ever thought about how our next world leaders are, like the world leaders in 50 years are in bed watching like Cocomelon videos right now?
No, they are. And honestly, that's the shit that keeps me up at night. Like that's the good thing that's giving me existential dread, is that the ruler of my country is going to be someone that was addicted to Roblox at some point. I'm sorry, man. That just fucks with me in a way I can't describe. Oh, man.
Okay. One last question from Ivan. What do you miss most about games or movies of the past, if anything?
Okay, I got a good one for this, but I'll let someone else go first.
That's a really good question. I think for me, I'll just answer specifically in games, mainly because I'm more knowledgeable in general about it. But I think that whenever it comes to games of the past, I kind of miss how fast-paced they were and getting you right into it. And there are cases where I do appreciate, how modern games especially if they're more story driven, maybe it kind of gives you more expositional dumping and all that kind of stuff. But like recently I played The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, for example. That game gets you right the fuck into the action. Like, you literally boot it up, it's raining outside, and you are already tasked with, a mission. And it just gets you right into it. And that's kind of the philosophy that a lot of older games operate under. And there are a lot of times where I appreciate that more. That isn't to say that I think that if a game is older, it inherently is better than a modern game. I'm just saying, that is one element of older games that generally I like.
I think I'd like to go next. I think mine is like tangentially related. I just miss when you could like put a disc in a console and it just fucking works. Now I put it in and it's oops, sorry, day one update. I'm like, what is so important that you cannot just let me play the game? And the worst part is sometimes it's like, oh, sorry, you have to do this for playing a single player game too. And I'm like, what's happened to the industry I love? I used to slap a cartridge in and it just works. Okay.
Yeah, that too. That's a good answer.
It's actually so annoying. And the worst was I have the fast internet for it. It's the principle of the matter. I'm excited. I got my OJ. I got my Coke. I got my drink. I got everything all laid out. New game, fresh experience. I just ripped out the plastic. Sorry, 25 minutes before you can play. I'm like, oh, fuck. There goes the win from my sales. So annoying. I hate that. I actually hate that so much about modern gaming. I love so many aspects of modern gaming, but that's an L if I've ever heard it. What about you, Donovan? What gets you mad?
Maybe I'll talk about more movies. We've talked a lot about gamings, but in terms of movies that I missed from the past, I just think blockbuster movies today, a lot of them are just like assembly line machine slop where where most of the time it's a corporation saying, all right, you got these due dates for these movies, get them out, the people want to see them, they want to see all this, that. And it's like, well, where did all the passion come from? Where did all the passion go, really? And in terms of like actual filmmaking, there's a lot of things. I mean, there's still lots of filmmakers that do put a lot of passion and heart and like practicality, like Christopher Nolan. But there's also a lot like nowadays that use so much just like cheap CGI green screen. They turn out a plot in like a very short time, mostly probably because of studio mandates, and it just comes out like a half-baked movie. I just wish maybe we just give the creators more time.
I think it's interesting you say that, because I think it's one of those things that uniquely video games doesn't have the same problem with. Because with films, right, if you like, there isn't really an indie space that's as easily accessible with movies as there are of games. Like with games, like MrDean could like spend 5 years making a game. It's on the same platform as the latest Call of Duty. Does that make sense? Like it's parity in that regard. Whereas movies kind of don't have that same level of ease of access. Like if you want to see like an indie experimental film, you gotta go to like a film festival or someplace in like a city that you might not live in, like across the world or something. So I think it's one of those unfortunate things with movies where it might sound a bit boomer to say, oh, films aren't the same anymore, but it really just does feel like you can't just go into a movie theater and just see like an original work that you've never heard of before. And unfortunately, sometimes even when that does happen, it doesn't, the audience isn't as receptive to it as they used to be,
That's my 2 cents for the question, Ivan. I think this is definitely the longest special hour episode, but it's definitely a very fun episode.
Listen, I could go for another hour, but Donovan here's a busy man. He got a cool mid-podcast. Okay, you guys should have heard it.
Yeah, Donovan's like, all right, enough of this bullshit.
Literally, he had enough of us. Yeah, he's ready to go.
This might be we might be in double digits in terms of how many calls I've gotten in these podcasts. But Sir Musty, where can we find you?
Oh my god! Internet. Oh, it's the part where I have to show. Oh, I hate this bit, but
shameless plugs.
Shameless plugs indeed. But yeah, you can find me on most platforms at just Sir Musty. On YouTube, I have various channels. So if you just go to Sir Musty, you'll find a bunch of them on the homepage there, and you can follow me on various things on Twitter or X if you're very particular. I just. I'm sorry. The site that shall not be named. I just upload funny tweets on there. Whenever I find a moment, I just put out a funny. So no brain rot. Don't worry. You're not going to go on there and have my crazy take on capitalism. Don't worry about that. Okay. We've already got plenty of people that do that as is. So yeah, just on Sir Musty on basically everything. YouTube channel is probably your go-to. So be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in a live stream maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty nice weather, right, guys? Yeah. So,
boy, nice weather, isn't it?
That is racism.
Whoa, Donovan's a racist. Oh my god! It just doesn't end. I get.
Hey, that's how you know Donovan's on X. Am I right?
True, actually true.
Dude, I'm on True Social. What are you talking about?
Oh my god! He has some Telegram channels. He's like those fucking Brits, those limeys.
Yeah, Musty. Me and you call it Twitter. Twitter, he calls it X. Am I right?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you
Yeah,
mean.
the heart attack, that was just faking it. You know?
Later tonight,
I'm
he's gonna
pulling
do his
off the
research
mask
on
right now.
He's going to go on Grokpedia to do his research later, man. Honestly. Oh, I can't deal with this anymore.
Mr. Dean, where can we find you? On the internet?
Okay, so if you guys like my voice or the things I have to say, I am on YouTube, MrDean44. Do lots of Nintendo reviews, retrospectives, rankings, all that kind of stuff. I am on Twitter or X, whichever you want to call it, I guess. I don't know. But I'm also on Blue Sky if you're one of those liberals.
Yes.
We got so unhinged out of nowhere. And then I also have a Discord server called the Dean Kingdom, just your typical Discord server stuff. Donovan, where can we find you on the internet?
Yes, you can find me, DonovanDud, on YouTube, where I've been doing some videos on on the development of some Nintendo games recently. I also have a Discord server, the Nintendo Boys, where you can primarily interact with me, play games with me, chat. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Or X.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there is. That's the real name he calls it.
There we go. Oh, it felt so good to say that. I'm so relieved. Anyways, bye.
Oh, bye.
Bye-bye.